December 22nd, 1937, a man named Omero Catan paid a toll over in Weehawken and went through the Lincoln Tunnel. But it wasn't just any crossing. It was actually the first paid crossing by a member of the public in this newly opened tube. And he was someone already familiar to many New Yorkers. He'd also been the first to pay a toll and drive across the George Washington Bridge, the first to swim in New York City's first public pool, the first to skate in Rockefeller Center ice rink, and would later be the first to put a coin in a New York City parking meter. He had so many firsts, he used the nickname Mr. First, and he did these all over the East Coast, 537 in all. So why did he do it? He was inspired by a man he knew who had crossed the Brooklyn Bridge on its opening day in 1883. Catan thought it'd be a fun way to be a part of history. So in 1928, at age 13, he arrived 4 days early to be the first on the Graf Zeppelin, and it was the first of many firsts for Catan. In 1945, they're getting ready to open a new second tube of the Lincoln Tunnel. Omero Catan was over in England working at an army hospital, so he arranged to have a man named Michael Catan be his proxy at the opening. As you might guess, he was Omero's brother. The two men occasionally collaborated on other firsts, including being the first passengers to land at JFK Airport in a plane they had rented and had landed at the airport opening, seemingly without permission, pulling in right next to President Truman's plane. Back then in New York, these kinds of projects were being built all the time, so there were lots of opportunities, and publicity and public interest in them were also quite high. Catan's unusual story eventually attracted the interest of Hollywood. A script about his life was considered by a number of well-known names in Hollywood in the 1990s, including Mark Johnson and Jon Stewart. But the cost of realizing this period of New York City proved too expensive for the projects ever to get off the ground. Unfortunately, relations between the two brothers eventually soured. Omero felt that Michael was trying to co-claim the Mr. First title, and towards the end of their lives, they rarely spoke. Omero's last first was the opening of Interstate 595 in Fort Lauderdale in 1989. He was living down there and had become a champion shuffleboard player. He died in 1996 at the age of 82.